The point of doing op art was to learn how to but to practice and develop our fine motor skills so that we can do gradients. And we do gradients so that we can shade things. So that things will look three-dimensional, the dark things will fall back in space because they've been shaded, and other things will pop out because they've been left white to create that depth in an image. Well, another way that we can add depth is to create this illusion by adding lines that seem to go back in space. For instance, trying to turn a square into a cube. Your paper only has, when you draw on the surface of your paper, it only has length and width. It goes up and it goes across. And those are the only two directions it has. But if we draw these lines on a diagonal, and then make matching verticals and horizontals, it makes it appear as if it was a cube. The illusion of depth. So our linear perspective is 3D through depth, which is what I would write on the things to know under 1-point perspective. 3D through depth. Adding that third dimension is what we're going for. There's a whole process for doing this, and it has a few new words, and that's what we're going to learn right now. First one being the horizon line. Think of the horizon as where the sun sets, where the land meets the sky. Land meets sky. That's the horizon line. So generally, it's going to be a horizontal line somewhere near the middle of your page. That marks where the land meets the sky. We're doing 1-point perspective, meaning that there is one dot on the horizon line called the vanishing point. That vanishing point is where all depth lines, that third dimension, are meeting, or converging. Where depth lines converge is the vanishing point. If you don't like converge, they also meet. And orthogonal is a fancy word for those depth lines. Orthogonals are the depth lines, the diagonal ones. So I mentioned that we're doing 1-point perspective, which is there are many different types of linear perspective. 1 point is kind of the beginning. For example, this one down here, you can see 2 points on the horizon line and more sides of this cube than you can see here. This is 2-point perspectives because there's 2 dots. We're sticking with 1 point. I just wanted you to know why I was calling it 1-point perspective. There's also 3-point perspective and more. So let's give this a practice. Everyone has rulers, right? If you don't, go get them. Step number 1, horizon line. Somewhere near the middle, I'm going to draw a horizontal line. And this is my HL, horizon line. On my horizon line is my my VP, my vanishing point. So I have my horizon line and vanishing point, and I'm ready to start making my orthogonals. So I have a little beige square, right? Cube, it's a cube. Little beige cube. If I place it directly on top of the vanishing point, how many sides of the square cube do you see? One side. Okay. If I move it directly to the side, how many sides do you see? What if I move it directly down from the vanishing point?
Can't see it.
What if I moved it on a diagonal from the vanishing point? This is the idea of perspective. So I'm going to put my cube up here, and I can see 3 sides. So on this square, we're going to have 3 sides. I'm going to hold my ruler up to the corner and the vanishing point. One end of the ruler on the corner, one on the vanishing point, and draw a line. Same thing with the bottom right corner to the vanishing point. And the bottom left corner to the vanishing point. Should I do the top left corner? Why not? Can I see the top left corner here? No, I can't see a line going from here because our object isn't see-through. So we only have those 3 lines. Right now, this looks like a box going on for infinity. I want a normal cube. So I'm going to draw a matching line. I'm going to line up my ruler with this vertical, push it over, and draw a line. So that my orange lines match. I'm going to hold my ruler up to the bottom line, horizontal, drag it down so that it meets with the lower orange line. Then I can erase the extra orthogonals. You have a pretty box. So it's easy mistake. So is this line horizontal? So we need that one to actually be horizontal and this one to actually be vertical. Crookedy lines are very easy to do and look very wrong. So is this a horizontal line? It's so easy to do. That's why when I do these, I always line it up there and then just push it. And that way I know that it's matching line.
What pretty boxes.
They're fashion. They're,
How did you do that?
just like, very, I would like to trash.
If this is easy, we're gonna take it further. If it's challenging, we'll go slowly. Pretty good though. So let's do the box on the right. You guys already told me that you can only see two sides with this. So I'm gonna do the top left corner to the vanishing point and the bottom left corner to the vanishing point, but everything else is blocked. Only see those two sides. Hold off on making the cutoff, the matching lines. Make your orthogonals, it's not the matching line. You have complete control over how long this box is. For example, if I want this to be a really shallow, very narrow box, I can make my matching line very close to the original square. And that's going to create a very shallow box.
Kind of like a little bit of freaking.
Music.
And you can look until what you say she's like, smooth, high figure,
We have one more box left. You can go ahead and make your orthogonals for the last box. Make sure that they go to the vanishing point.
Mine are so thin. Mine are my pencil is like really thick. She has like four. Wait, that doesn't make sense. No, like.
And this time, I'm going to make a really long box by making my matching lines, where I cut it off, very close to the vanishing point. Horizontal line and a vertical line. Make sure your verticals and horizontals are actually vertical and horizontal, not crookedy. And that looks like a much longer box. So we kind of have a shallow, medium, and long boxes. So now then you just need to do this corner to the vanishing point.
Oh, I did not know this. No, I told you we were daughters. No, but like Sarah is insane. Like I love that. It's a good song. It's just crazy. What? Sarah, like our creator. Oh my god, yeah. Or Java. I'm just trying to.
Let's make it more complicated. We're gonna do letters next. First thing I draw. Horizon line, yes. I go for the center. so depending on your angle, it can change. And on the horizon line goes the finishing point, but it is the VP. Very close, I'll take it. I take it, that's close enough. So just like our box, I carved out a little E. It's an eraser. It's not a wood. It does, it has the same color. So just like the square, if I put this in the center, you can only see one side. If I move it, you can see two sides. Or three sides.
No, not more than 3.
Well, good observation. So, first thing we're going to need it to do is make a box E. Now, if you're terrible at box letters like I am, the easiest... Yes, use a ruler. But you can just draw an E, and then do that. But do it with your ruler. So make a box E. Do the E and the O with me, and then you'll have an opportunity to do 2 letters of your choosing. Because there's some tricks I want to show you. So what's the occasion with flip-flop? Apparently it's already promised.
It was promised like 2 weeks ago. And he really
Promised at the start of this whole thing.
So that could be like an ongoing leprechaun.
Did you guys take it to the?
It starts off just like our squares. We can take these 3 corners back to the vanishing point. On the square, we didn't take back this corner because you can't see it since our object isn't see-through. But with the E, it's not as simple of an object.
It was over there. Yesterday it was right there.
It's moving. We have more lines though from here.
Yes, the whole class.
So I'm going to hold my ruler on this corner, line it up to the vanishing point, and draw until I hit something. Our E is still not see-through, so it stops. That line stops when you hit something. Don't jump over, don't pass go, do not collect $200. Hey, look, this one right here. make this more complicated for practice, I want to make a really shallow E. So I'm going to make my matching lines closer to the E. Making sure that my verticals are vertical and my horizontals are horizontal. No crookedness.
Wait, how do we do the inside like that?
So we've always done the matching. So where I've held this ruler here and done the matching line there, I'm going to hold the ruler on this sticky out part of the E and slide my ruler up.
Oh, okay.
I'm not going to be super picky, but you're trying to make it the same width that you did on top in the little cross beams.
Maybe it gets wider as it goes through the wall.
It would actually get a little bit wider, but I'm not going to be that picky for you guys. I'll be a little lighter than that. So it looks a little bit funky because this is longer than this. So.
No, no, just make it why should it get bigger? It's 11 wants to be it's the same length. What do you mean? Hers is longer and so is yours.
What nice ease.
Just like looks better. Honestly, I don't know.
Wait, no, that's a fine.
Okay.
Gorgeous ease. Don't forget to cut it off. So you're gonna cut it at this step. We want to cut it off.
Wait, what?
So you'll make this one's horizontal. You make a horizontal one there. This one is vertical. You make a vertical line there. This one's horizontal. So this one will go horizontal. And then erase the extra one. Does that make sense? Corners of the other point.
Yeah.
Cut it off. Oh.
Make it so.
Thinking out loud. So now, if you want to do this depth, you want to make it similar depth right there.
That's good. That's good.
Oh, honestly, I can just do it. So bad.
The other letter I want to make is a circle, an O, because it's a little different. So go ahead and make an O. Gabe, make an O. Make an O. So far, we've been going from corners. O's don't have corners.
Like you make really force it so like you need.
Well, you can kind of do like what your alarm clock does and make like the square O, or rectangle O. You can. But I want to show you what a circular one looks like. So instead of a corner, we're going to go from the fattest part of the O. What I mean by that is hold your ruler on the vanishing point. We're going to pivot the ruler so it's touching my pencil on the vanishing point at all times. And I'm going to find the part of the O that sticks out the furthest. I'm just moving it until only the part of the O is still seen. And draw my line from that fat part.
Horizontally challenged.
From the widest area of the O, which is way less than to say.
You just saw a shit.
I'm gonna do the same on the bottom,
Like that.
holding my ruler on the vanishing point. The first part that comes into contact, the O in the ruler, is where I'm gonna draw my line from. So far, we've been making parallel lines, but I've been saying matching lines. Because when it's not a straight line, it's not going to be parallel. Curves can't be parallel. That's a long story. But,
Well,
not go there. This is a nice curve. I'm going to try to match that curve down here.
Oh, looks weird. I know what she's gonna do.
Because this is shallow, I also needed to match a similar depth on the inside, but it's going to be the opposite curve. I am matching this curve. That and that. Where's the yellow? There we go. And this. Can you have parallel curves? Parallel lines never cross.
Curves connect, and if you
Yeah.
have two that are sizes, it's weird. Got the curve.
You can have like equal curves. But they would, because the definition of a parallel line is that they never cross. And then the two curves would cross at some point.
Yeah.
Remember that shading we did the other day? If my light source was directly above the E, this part of the E would be the absolute brightest, where the sun is hitting. The sides of the E would be shaded to about medium.
we're shading the E. What's up?
Damn, that is so
And
I
then
don't know, look at 3D.
those
Why would they be darkest?
covered by the top.
You are absolutely right. So just like a table casts a shadow on the floor, these guys are dark, meaning having a shadow cast from the top sticky out thing of the E.
Wouldn't the bottom one out lighter because it's lighter?
I'm not going to be that picky.
But I am.
Feel free.
Okay. You need
Our O will have a gradient because they're not flat sides. Dark on the bottom, light on the top.
Shut up. Can't you keep that?
What time are we out of here? What's happening? What's happening?
Around here, so it says.
Where's my clock? Oh, we still have 10 minutes. You guys have probably the rest of the time to do 2 more letters and shade them in. Total of 4 letters. 4 letters.